they technically burned?
Yeah, I guess.
The sugar is like caramelized.
Yeah.
And
it's delicious.
By the way, our stream is live and Sam is just in the background.
No, I'll give him tomorrow.
Timed that one perfectly.
And then you check it twice.
Yeah.
Hey, you warned him.
Yep. I said when Allison was back, that's when I would start it up. Excuse me. So if anybody was watching, they just got a couple seconds of you talking about burning stuff.
Oh. Well, somebody's burning some food in my apartment building, and it's very smelly.
Isn't that like a symptom of a stroke? You like smell burning?
It's toast.
Okay, I would be worried about that, but it's clearly like a lot stronger in my hallway, so it's clearly not me.
Maybe the stroke is stronger in the hallway.
Oh my god! Don't even do that.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I was just setting up my iPad so that I could watch the stream and get the chat.
All right, I'm just sharing our stream to the Facebook group, and we're good.
If someone does a chat on the streams, will I see it on mine, or do I need to watch the main stream?
I don't know. I could not tell you. Sorry.
I guess we'll find out. Okay.
I've had the DuckTales theme song stuck in my head.
That was my most played song last year on Spotify.
Mine was "Run Away with Me" by Carly Rae Jepsen.
That is a flawless song, so that's A-okay.
So I was listening to Punch Up the Jam, and they did "You Make My Dreams" by Hall & Oates, and then one of the hosts was like, "This reminded me of the DuckTales theme song," so I mashed them up.
The DuckTales theme song is very mashable.
The problem is you can't find like an acapella or just an instrumental version of it.
Yeah.
So it's So it was kind of a mess. I cannot. The stream won't load for me on Facebook, so I can't share it. Oh well.
Your camera froze again too, and now you look really creepy in the picture. Like really creepy.
Why is this happening to me?
How could this happen to you?
It's clearly like some AI has picked the best shots of you to freeze on for 5 minutes at a time.
Thankfully, the stream is not seeing this. I love it.
Yeah, that's true.
Your own special thing.
Okay. Well, whenever.
Oh, there
you go. You're back.
Okay.
Almost. It almost froze again.
I'm just gonna like stick a face.
You should take a pose for a long time.
Then we'll never know if it's frozen or not.
Yeah.
I am definitely hosting you, so I guess that's working.
Great.
All right. Ready?
Absolutely.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to an extra special episode 10 of Gaming Fix, the best podcast recorded by 6 people on the internet in multiple different countries. I am your chairman. I'm sticking with that from now on, Sam Harrison. Today we've got our Chief Technical Officer, Alex Galinas.
I have no face, but I must stream videos to the stream.
Yep. This week, just to let you guys know, thanks very much to Alex for helping set this up, but we are moving away from using the face cam so that we can make it all about the games. We're going to be showing videos of the games that we're talking about, and Alex is the video DJ, the VJ for those videos. Next up, we have Alison.
Hello, everybody. Happy March 10th, which is also Mario Day, so I feel like this is a pretty great 10-10 situation. Very excited about.
And Andre?
I finally filed for my Paragon refund.
Shit.
Hey!
The third week in a row you've mentioned that in your intro. And Erica?
Hello. The camera can't see it, but I have lipstick on my teeth, so, you know, I'm glad that we don't have video today.
And Pat, finally,
Hello.
back from the grave.
I'm alive, yeah. I still
No
haven't-
longer dead to us.
Alive to us. Yay.
Yay!
Excellent. I've got an extra special, jam-packed 10th anniversary, 10-week anniversary episode for you guys today. We're
This
all going to be
podcast for
talking.
10 years.
Yep, that's how it feels.
Oh,
Wow.
jeez.
I think that as Alex is doing the VJing, I will not make him go first, so that he's got a little bit of prep time. But Alison, what have you been playing this week?
So, excellent segue because of Mario Day. I've actually had a pretty light gaming week. I was really busy at work, and because of that, it just kind of, when I got home, I just wanted to lay down and watch TV for most part, except for when I did play games, which were a lot of kind of older games. I played some of my SNES classic stuff, but the one game that I played like for the most of was Super Mario Brothers 3, which I've actually never played before, which is really weird for me because I played the first Super Mario Brothers and then also World. I played both of those a lot when I was a kid, to the point where those might have been two of my most played games ever. And this one I just apparently never picked up for whatever reason. So it's been kind of an interesting thing to pick up a 2D Mario game that has different controls, and it feels very different. But then also just kind of getting into that loop of going, okay, I know how to get through this game. But it's a very different game to those other ones that I've played, which has been an interesting experience to experience it for the first time. So it's been enjoyable.
Awesome. I actually just realised I forgot completely to give the rundown of the episode that I normally do at the beginning. So welcome everybody. Thanks for listening to Alison's great Mario. What we're going to do today is, as always, we're going to talk about what we've been playing. We're going to have a little break with a mini surprise in the middle for the viewers. Nobody spoil it, everyone, even though you all know what the surprise is. And after that, we're going to talk a little bit of news. So, Erica, you're on my screen right now. What have you been playing this week?
I just want to say, Andre's on my screen right now, and he's frozen AF. And it looks like he's about to poop.
This is
Faking
good podcast. Good and not face camera podcast.
Your audio sounds good, at least.
Yeah.
Silky smooth.
So anyway, so I'm breaking the bring one game rule, and I'm bringing two. So I played a little bit of Into the Breach this morning. So I think I like this game, but I don't think it's fully clicked with me yet. I think I've got to play a few more games to get the strategy in my head. But like, because I think I'm worried a lot about the extra challenges on the side where you can get like power grid stuff and whatever. And so I've kind of been watching those a little bit too aggressively, I think, because I want to get like whatever you get after you beat a world with all of them and the extra power-ups. And and in the meantime, I've been just taking tons of damage because I am not as worried about losing power grid damage. So that's probably not the best way to play it. But it's really cool. I'm not a big strategy game person. I talked a little bit about playing Mario plus Rabbids last week, so that's kind of been the next step, I guess, for me is this game. But it's fun so far. I really like it. I hate the fonts. That's my one big complaint with it. I don't like the way any of the fonts look in that game.
I love everything about how everything in that game looks.
It's really interesting.
To me. Yeah, I don't know, but I get
really
that.
It's interesting because like everything's very pixelated, but then the fonts are like super crisp.
Yeah, that's like what my issues are. Like the menu fonts. I'm like looking at the menu right now on my computer. The menu fonts are like also like a little bit pixelated, but then when they have like warnings and other text that's on the screen are like super crisp, and it's just kind of weird.
I feel like that was the same way with FTL. I think that
I didn't
they
really play any FTL.
had the same, like the a lot of the like UI and periphery, like fonts and stuff like that, looks a lot like FTL to me. So I think I was already kind of prepped and used to it. I think this game is a lot better than FTL, though, to be honest.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm having a ton of fun with it. It's a little frustrating, and it's a lot of, you know, figuring out how each mech moves, and you make a move and you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize that was going to do that. And just learning how to do things in that game.
Are you playing it on normal, or have you bumped it down at all?
Yeah, I played on normal today.
Okay. I finished it on easy this morning. It's actually not that hard to beat. But I only did 2 islands, and then I just did the final encounter just to get through a run. And it's I really like the way that game is like score focused. I'm usually not into score based games, but the way that it's like not hard to finish on easy, and then you unlock stuff, and then you try to kind of build up to the point where you can get like a really awesome score by playing through it on hard. It's just, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think maybe my next move is to try to play it on easy just to get the mechanics down.
Yeah. I was getting really frustrated with it on normal, and then when I bumped it down to easy, that's when it kind of clicked.
Based on what you were saying, Erica, with like focusing too much on the objectives and taking damage, like you're going to take damage, but if you bump it down to easy, that's like a great way to actually learn how like the mechanics work and like comboing your moves together, because the AI is like a lot less aggressive, I guess I would say. They don't
spawn as much either.
Yeah, there's not as many.
And then it also lets you can like kind of do a lot of those alternate objectives and get a lot of the upgrade materials, and then see what it looks like to have a really high end mech, so you can kind of plan better for it in future runs.
And then also you can clear the objectives and get new teams, so you can use the new teams to like oh, I like this team way better than that first team or whatever.
Have any of you guys made your own team and done like the all punchy boys lineup?
No, not yet. I will though. Yeah, that stuff is that game seems like it has way more legs than FTL. Like FTL has got a lot going on and is really cool, but like I could see people doing all kinds of crazy ass runs and Into the Breach because of that custom mech. Because there's like mechs that are like science mechs that don't do any damage. They just do like freeze attacks and stuff. But in theory, I think you could finish the game if you were able to like, because you don't have to kill the Vec, you just have to survive to the end of the time limit.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I guess in the final ones you have to kill them, but I don't know. It seems like there could be cool ways that you could force using science mechs and stuff as a full team.
Yeah, and I liked also that they seem focused on you thinking about this strategically. Like I like that they kept it in mind when planning things like adding grid coordinates and things like that to the game if you want them. And I don't know, it's just, I took a nap today and I kind of like closed my eyes and I could still see the grid.
Yeah,
one of those types of games, you know.
I kind of love that actually.
Was Jeff Bridges there?
He was not. So anyway, the other game I played a little bit yesterday. I played Psychonauts.
Hey.
So I was so sure I played this game, and the more I play it, I'm pretty sure I actually never did play this game, and I think I was thinking of something else. But that game is pretty cool. I don't know. I had a lot of fun with it. We streamed it yesterday. And you could tell it's not the most modern game. It's not the tightest controls in the world. You know, there's not the jumping and the platforming bits are not the greatest. I always feel like I'm overshooting stuff, but it plays fine considering it's as old as it is. And the storytelling, like every once in a while, a little like cringy, but for the most part, it seems interesting. I'm excited to see where it goes because I don't know where it's going because apparently I didn't play this game. but yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of fun, and you know, for $10 or whatever it was, I think it's well worth checking out.
I think I've owned that game since it came out on Steam, and I've never played it. So I'm actually installing it now because I've been playing it my whole life.
Yeah, we were planning on making one of our stream days like a co-op game, and we were going to play through Borderlands, the pre-sequel, because that's the only Borderlands game I haven't played yet. And that game is not available on local co-op on Steam for some reason. So
I don't think any of the Borderlands can do local co-op on PC. I've looked into it for like Borderlands 2.
Yeah, like because I have like a ton of love for Borderlands, and I really wanted to play that game. And I think I have it on PS4. It just wasn't ready to go, so we did Psychonauts instead.
You guys should play Portal 2 because that's got local co-op on PC and it's
Listen.
real good co-op.
I want to play Portal 2 on co-op, and Xavier doesn't want to play it with me.
That's terrible. It's a really great co-op game. It's like phenomenally good. I hate co-op games, and it's amazing.
You know,
It's so good.
what it is like when Xavier and I first started dating, I was not really proficient with like using 2 sticks. Like I couldn't walk and look around at the same time. Borderlands is actually the game that taught me how to do that really well. But for the later puzzles in Portal 2, you kind of need some precision movement, and I couldn't do it. And we were just like, we got really frustrated with each other. And so he doesn't want to play it with me anymore.
Play it with this creepy Mr. Potato Head behind you.
I love it.
It's pretty great.
We have 2. The other says Mrs. Potato Head.
So Erica, you hadn't played Psychonauts, but have you played any other Double Fine games?
I played almost all of Day of the Tentacle, and
That doesn't even count. That's a LucasArts,
I was
isn't
gonna
it?
say it's LucasArts, but it's
oh,
close
it's
enough.
LucasArts.
I mean,
Wait, am I
it's
thinking-
Double Fine now.
Yeah.
Like worked on it and like made it.
It's
Yeah.
a game, basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same
yeah,
people.
but it's not Double Fine.
Yeah,
mean,
well, if I would have
I'm sorry.
played it, it would have been like after they.
Once you finish Psychonauts, you need to play Brutal Legend.
Brutal Legend.
Yeah, I have played a good chunk of Grim Fandango also, but I don't think I finished that game.
Also
either.
So
LucasArts.
LucasArts, yeah.
Is it too?
Yep.
Like, it's
Okay.
Tim Schafer game, but yeah.
Yeah.
Double
Well,
Fine.
all right.
There's also
so
what
then-
Massive Chalice. You're on a strategy kick. You can play Brad
That's-
Mears.
yep.
Massive Chalice.
So cool.
Broken Age is also a Double Fine game.
Oh yeah. Okay, there you go. Broken
Yeah,
There
That
was
game is
I-
very good.
Trenched.
I have that
I've
game,
never
and I
played that.
never played
Brazen.
any of it.
What was the stacking dolls game? Was it just stacking?
Oh,
Stacking.
Stacking.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
If you want
Great.
something really cute during like Halloween times, Costume Quest is really sweet.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Did any of you guys have the
Actually-
Connect? Did you have the weird
Oh,
Connect
happy
thing?
fun time actually.
Yeah, I have
No, I never got it.
This is a great game.
Wait, is Iron Brigade? Is that a Double
Yes.
Fine game?
Yes, that is
Okay, I
correct.
played
It is,
that.
Iron Brigade is really cool, and I should play more of that. I've barely played any of it.
Yeah. So
That
you gotta
That's
was-
the
do-
game where you have the hands and you can
Yeah.
like salute people.
Yep. There's various salutes for both hands.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did play that game. That game was super fun. I would like to go back to it. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a fun week. I'm not very far into either one of those games. Like I died in the last battle of the world on Into the Breach, and then or the first world, and I don't know. Are they worlds? Are they continents? I don't know. What they islands? Okay. And then I finished like the first section of Psychonauts, like I think it's called Basic Braining. I did that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I look forward to putting more time into both of those.
Oh, that game is so good.
I'm installing that in Brutal Legend again now because I'm going to play Brutal Legend
Oh,
again
man.
too.
I really look forward to hearing your thoughts on the rest of Psychonauts.
I'll let you know in a couple of weeks, probably.
I've never played it either, so maybe, but I own it, so maybe that's
Well, the
something I
game
should
club,
install.
everybody should play it, and then we'll talk about it in 2 weeks.
That's gonna be our maybe
April
that'll be
game
our-
club.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up, Alex. I think you've been playing something pretty wonderful.
Dude.
Do you want to share it with us?
This is going to be a long talk.
Oh man.
So strap in, everyone.
Oh no!
Let me just get another glass of peach
Yeah.
Coke
Yeah.
Zero.
I need another beer.
All right. So I beat and I uninstalled Cat Condo.
Oh man.
I
Wow.
got to the last cat, and once you do that, you cannot combine those last cats. So there's not really much else to do.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also some of those achievements impossible. Like I think you have to buy like 10,000 cats, and
Oh.
Oh.
like you know how every time you buy a cat, its price goes up a little bit.
Mhm.
There's never
Yeah.
a ceiling to them. So if you go to the lowest level cat, like the cheapest cat, it'll just keep getting more expensive forever. So,
Yeah.
like buying 10,000 cats is almost impossible.
In like one run or over all your runs?
Overall.
Overall.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
an overall thing.
How they give you like a tracker, like how many you've bought?
Yep, like there's like an achievement menu, and you can just kind of see. Erica's showing it, but there's an achievement menu with like kind of bars that show your progress.
How close were you?
I think there's 10,000. I think I had maybe 3,000.
Well,
I have
if you-
800.
Yeah. So
Wow.
So yeah. I mean, I'm not near where you are. I am at like 29 cats. And there's 40 in the game.
Yep.
So, I am still playing it like a couple times a day, but I'm not playing it very often anymore.
Yeah,
but I plan to
I'm at-
uninstall it.
I'm at
after I'm done.
29 cats too. I want to get to the last cat, but
Yeah. They're
we'll
getting
see. 'Cause
weird
it's at
now.
they are getting weird now, and it's getting to the point where I check it like every day, and it still takes a long time to get to that new cat.
oh yeah. But for real, the game I actually brought today is the same one I was talking about last week. And good lord, I have a lot of feelings about this one. So yeah, get
Put
ready.
a not safe for work tag on this stream.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, get ready. This is an AO stream now. So I've been playing the visual novel Wonderful Every Day. And when I last reported to you guys, I was about 3 hours in, and it was pretty normal. It was just a standard VN. It had some kind of cool stuff going on, but like it wasn't anything crazy. So let's start with the cool stuff about that game. It's maybe the most profound and fascinating visual novel I've ever played. And like that's probably a big statement, but it's true because its themes are like super crazy dark, but it's also really optimistic in a weird way. And like the way it handles its story is just exceptional. Like it starts with a really small scale, just a couple of friends kind of thing, and it literally gets cosmic. Like it's insane in that sense. All of the characters are really nuanced and dynamic, and they like act like actual humans, and they're intelligent. So you're never looking at them being like, why are you doing this? This is the stupidest choice. You're like, oh wow, that was actually really clever of you. Like it does all this cool stuff. It has like these really intense ideas about philosophy and love and reality, and like they go into M theory, which is a branch of string theory and stuff like that. It's really crazy, and like sincerely, it's almost had like an influence on me and led me to kind of reconsider or reassess parts of my own life, which I think is a mark of a really good piece of fiction. And also, it does have the best late title card of the year. It's like 6 or 7 hours in, and it's just like a full straight up anime intro. But so all of that being said, I don't know that I can actually recommend it to any single person in this room or listening to this podcast.
Well, I've got several questions. Number one, how easy was the full nude patch
Very
to
easy.
install?
It took about 20 seconds. But the thing is, you need that patch to properly play the game. The reason for that is on Steam, it comes with the first chapter, which is censored. And it only comes with the first chapter, and the game is 6 chapters. The first chapter was about 12 hours long.
What the fuck?
So,
So yeah, last
So
week
they
you said it was like a
chapters-
15-hour game. Are all the chapters that long?
I'm in the second chapter, and I'm at about 18 hours, so I'm going to say they're all pretty damn long.
Dang.
But
Fuck.
Yeah.
it's really, really well
I don't
written.
have that
though.
kind of time, Alex.
Well,
Yeah,
he just said he doesn't recommend it, so don't
But-
worry about it.
The reason I don't recommend it is because it's like the only word I can use for it is super explicit. And that's in a lot of different senses. Like it's really violent and really gory. And like I love horror games, and it's super creepy too. Like I'm not one to usually get creeped out by horror games because I play so many, but like there's some genuinely like unsettling moments. But I think what would be most damning for most people is the obvious one, that it's super, super like sexually explicit. Like at times it's straight up just a porn game.
Oh, I thought I was out, but then you brought me right back in.
But like seriously, it's the kind of thing where if you were on a plane, you would close your laptop. You'd be like, "Oh, don't want people knowing that I'm looking at this." Like,
It's
but
worse
like,
than Game of Thrones.
I am so like disappointed with that, just because I don't really want to play that, but at the same time, like looking at it on Steam, the games that it's listed as similar to that one that I've played are like the Zero Escape games, and I love those so much.
yeah,
And I love the idea of like super philosophical, super involved story like that. And I'm so conflicted because I do
Yeah.
kind of want to experience that, but at the same time,
But like,
I'm not really interested in all of that other stuff.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's a big caveat, but like to give you some context, like in the first chapter, if you play it quote unquote correctly, there's a 3-way branching path that you'll run into. So you have 3 choices, and you just kind of save before it, and then you can experience the 3 branches. In 2 of those, there's like really just sex scenes, and like they're kind of prolonged, and they're supposed to be really titillating, and it's just like, this is kind of weird. I just kind of clicking through this right now. It's like the audio is, it's really porny. Okay, let's just get past this. But if you go back to to that branch and you pick the 3rd direction, it does something really cool, because like those branches are obviously bringing you down romance paths, right? And you pick this 3rd branch, and you suspect that it's a romance path just like the other ones, and the girl's just like, oh, okay, cool, let's be friends. And then like it doesn't go the direction you want, and then it just kind of recontextualizes itself, and that's literally the point where it changes its entire universe, and it makes the sex scenes that you experienced before petty. And like it actually kind of, because it's recontextualizing it makes you reconsider what was actually happening at that time, and it's like really, really fascinating. So it's like I said, it's really hard to, I have a hard time recommending it, but it is amazing. But
I guess the question is, do you think that you could recommend it if somebody's like not, like I wouldn't be going to a game like that like looking for explicit sex scenes or violence, but if you're someone who could look past those things and not be like upset by them, do you think it's worth seeing what's there if those elements are just going to be things that like you can just go, yeah, whatever, I don't really care about this, I'm going to click through it?
I think you could. Yeah. I mean, at some point, like if you just skip past those scenes, you're skipping past girls going, and stuff, right? Like,
well, right, yeah.
It's not that bad, but
yeah,
it is also a big commit, because like it's probably about a 50 or 60 hour game.
Oh, sure.
But
yeah.
Like here, I'm going to give one other example. Like this is kind of a bit later in the story, like 16 hours. Like speaking of weight, like adding weight to a scene like that, it made me the most uncomfortable I've ever been with playing a game. And that was the scene, like it's a scene that I can only describe as the most realistic depiction of a sexual assault I've ever seen. Like it holds no bars, and it's really disturbing. Like,
yeah,
straight up what happens is it's a group of guys sexually assaulting a weak guy. And they're like threatening to like gouge out his eyes if he doesn't do what they say, and there's screaming and blood and tears and stuff. And I felt sick afterwards. Like it was really intense. It was 100% relevant to the story, and it was necessary to convey like how intense of a feeling they were trying to evoke. But it's just such a hard thing to recommend, because I don't know if a lot of people can stomach it.
Totally.
Yeah, that sounds like I don't know. Like I might be able to make like some sex scenes or some like violence, but that seems a little intense.
Yeah, it's very intense. I'm going to finish it. I am pretty committed to it, but yeah, like really amazing, but so hard to recommend.
Yeah.
Alex, I hope you know that you ruined the joke that I was going to tell.
You're okay.
By the end of that conversation being very serious. Moving on. I hear that you've also been playing a very deeply philosophical game that has a lot to say about the state of the world.
Absolutely. It has a lot to say about the state of a certain world. It may not be the one that we live in, though. So yeah, I've obviously like moved across the country and stuff, so I haven't had like oodles of time to play games, but I dipped into some Into the Breach this week, which was really good. But I talked about that. The other game that I had been itching to play all week, that I have some friends who were playing last week when they released the beta for it and said that they weren't going to do any character wipes, is Warhammer End Times Vermintide 2. I don't know. Did anybody in here play Vermintide 1?
Wasn't a Left 4 Dead fan, so I never tried it.
2 hours.
So I do not like Left 4 Dead really at all. I got kind of, and as I said earlier, I don't like co-op games generally either. I got pulled into Vermintide 1 by a couple of friends that were all really into the Warhammer Fantasy Battles universe, which without like going down an extremely nerdy rabbit hole doesn't exist in tabletop anymore. Games Workshop replaced Warhammer Fantasy Battles with something called Age of Sigmar a few years ago, which is a reasonably cool game, but it's a very different type of game, very different world, very different art than what old Warhammer was. So when Vermintide came out, these friends of mine and I were like, "Wow, this is really cool. This is a game set in that kind of original Fantasy Battles universe," and it was sort of designed to be like Left 4 Dead plus like more defined character classes and loot. The loot part never really was meant to be the focal point of the game, but because it was released like right on the cusp of the whole like loot revolution that Destiny kind of sparked. So people latched onto that, and they over time kind of rebuilt the game to be more focused on the loot and less on the just being a Left 4 Dead type game with rat people. So Vermintide 2 is built more from the ground up to have progression, have loot, have all that stuff. So it's got the same list of characters. It's the same basic concept. You go through these levels and fight rat monsters. But then there's also character classes now. So each of the 5 characters has 3 different classes, and each of those classes has their own passive ability that's always on. That's like their main class passive. And then they also have a like an ult kind of. It's on a cooldown that you can speed up with doing damage.
It's kind of Overwatchy.
Yes, very much so. But then they also have a skill tree. So as you level up that class, you get there's a full like almost like Diablo style skill tree of you can say like, oh well, now I have a higher crit chance, now I have a higher attack speed, whatever. So 15 classes, a bunch of variability there between how you build your character. There's all the loot stuff. They kind of moved over to a Destiny style system for the loot where you just have a power number attached to all of your gear. So you just kind of want the best power, but there's also traits for each type of weapon, and there's different like on like blue and legendary, rare and legendary gear and epic gear, there's also other kind of like, this gives you +2 stamina, this gives you this gives you this. You don't get loot as quickly as you do in something like Diablo or even Destiny. It's a little bit slower paced than that, because the way that this game is structured, you play through a Left 4 Dead style level, and then at the end of it, based on stuff you did in the level, you get an actual loot box that spits out your loot. And it's just like if you opened up a Hearthstone pack, you open the loot box, and then it has 3 symbols on the screen. You click them, and they reveal the items you got out of it. But there's no microtransactions or anything, so it's kind of just so happens that they used a box to contextualize how you get your stuff. But I don't know. I'm liking it a lot. I've played it for probably, I think, like 3 or 4 hours at this point. I played it last night, and I played it some this morning. And it seems like it's got the legs that got even longer legs than the first game. And there's a lot of cool. They just like the environments are a lot more varied now. The first game was very much like, here's 10 city environments. Now here's 3 forest environments. Now here's 3 dungeon environments. Whereas this one is more like, we start out coming out of the city, and then we're in the forest for a while, and then we end up at some like elven ruin that looks totally different from the place you started. So that stuff is really cool. It's really fucking hard. It's like kind of frustratingly hard, so I hope they make some balance changes. But otherwise, if you've got some friends, I think it's a really good value for the $30 that it costs. There's tons of gameplay there.
If I have some friends.
Yeah.
Good question. Would you say
Funny
that
joke.
the first Vermintide is still worth it, even if you might not have friends, or at least friends that don't want to play it? Because I've actually had it in my Steam library for like forever because of Humble Monthly, but I haven't actually put any time into it.
I think it is worth it. So the games don't really have stories kind of at all. They have as much of a story as Left 4 Dead does.
Right.
So I would say that if you aren't sure if you'd like it, if you could boot up the first one and kind of play a couple levels and see if it's a kind of gameplay style that you enjoy. And if you like it, then I would say from there it's probably more worth picking up the second one than dumping a ton of time into the first one. Because the first one, you could at least see through all the levels, I guess, which doesn't take a ton of time. You could probably play through all of the content on the easy difficulty in about 6 to 8 hours in the first one. And it's kind of worth seeing that stuff. It's still a really cool game. It's designed really well. And the AI, the way the AI works is really cool. But I definitely think if you're looking for something to like grind out tons of gear and stuff in and actually play at the highest difficulty levels, at this point, it makes more sense to play the second one if you haven't already started the first one.
Right.
So
Sounds good.
when you're driving across the country,
Yeah.
which state is the most boring?
Oh yeah. So I ruined my joke. I was going to say that I played the crew a lot this week.
Nah,
I love the crew.
not even the crew too.
Yeah. So the most boring state, far and away, is I guess overall is probably South Dakota. That sucked, but that was partly I'm a little bit biased because I was stuck in Winter Storm Quinn was pushing across across North America, really across the northern United States and southern Canada. So I left from Detroit and kind of made it through. I'm very used to driving in like Indiana and Illinois and Wisconsin. Made it through there. It was fine. No weather. It was beautiful. Stopped in Madison, Wisconsin for dinner the first night. It was gorgeous. And then got like through the next day, got on the road, and about halfway through the day hit South Dakota, and it was a disaster, just blizzard, terrible weather. I had to drive like 35 miles an hour on the highway for hours, and then they shut down the highway in South Dakota. So I stayed overnight there, and the next morning I was like talking to locals, and they were like, yeah, who knows when it'll reopen. It's just kind of like when it melts, maybe, I don't know. And like they didn't have salt trucks. I didn't see any salt trucks. I don't want to make the brazen statement that the state of South Dakota doesn't have any salt trucks, because that seems insane. But I swear to you, did not see a single salt truck in the like 24-ish hours I was in South Dakota. So I ended up like driving on back roads in the middle of nowhere for about 5 hours.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Okay, so like living in the Midwest, how do you not be prepared for snow?
So they get blizzards like this once every 5-ish years. This is completely outside of how it is in South Dakota. I know it's weird because you would think bordering Minnesota, like, but
we get that all the time.
Apparently, South Dakota, they don't get a lot of snow there. So they were just like they're completely hammered by it. But once I got to like western South Dakota, I went through, because I took that weird detour away from the highway. I went through the Badlands, which was awesome, and that was really, really cool. And like stopped at Mount Rushmore at night. Montana's really neat. I don't know. I don't really have complaints about any other parts of the drive, but yeah, eastern South Dakota sucks.
How many gun-crazed cults did you encounter in Montana? If we're gonna go off Ubisoft jokes here.
Surprisingly, fewer than I actually was thinking about that the whole time I was driving through the state. Was like, I wonder if this is where it's going to be, where Far Cry 5 is going to be. I wonder where this is where Far Cry 5 is going to be.
Excellent. Okay. So, Andre, I know that
Two weeks, 3 weeks ago, I was thinking, I could really go for a Ratchet and Clank game right about now. I didn't play the reboot or whatever in 2016, and then like later that week or the next week, PlayStation Plus games were announced, and Ratchet and Clank was on there. So I've been playing that Ratchet and Clank game, and it's still good. Like, it's just full stop good video game. Like, there are issues with it, like there are some of like the optional objectives are just really tedious. Before that, I was like, this is basically just like a perfect video game. Not my favorite video game, not the best, just like perfect. And like very tight, fun weapons, like humor's good, looks great. And then it was like, hey, collect 60 of these like brains, and they're just kind of spread out in this area. And then like they're on different levels and stuff, and so that just got really tedious and annoying. But yeah, I'm really enjoying playing that. I played, I think, A Crack in Time so many times, just like because you can go back and play them over with like all your upgraded weapons and stuff. So I enjoy doing that. So I'll probably do that with this one, play it once or twice, maybe try and get the platinum. I don't know. But yeah, I really appreciate those Ratchet and Clank games, and just reminded me that Insomniac's a really good studio. Don't know how that movie turned out though. No one talks about it really. But
It's bad. It got really bad reviews.
oh, seems
I
like a
haven't
perfect
watched it.
kids movie, but yeah, really like Ratchet and Clank. But I am glad that they're moving on to other stuff. Yeah. Any questions about it? It's basically just a reboot of the first game. If you ever played that, like I remember playing it as a kid, but like I don't remember all the beats. I just remember.
I played this
backs
game
in the
through.
garage.
It's
Yeah.
the first Ratchet game I've ever played, and I think it's fine. But I haven't really gotten back to it. I played about 2-3 levels, and then was like, I'll come back to this, and never have.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened with me with it too. But I didn't grow up with the series, so there's none of that kind of nostalgia drive.
Yeah, I've never really played them.
I thought it was really fun though. So.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I never got
The
into
only
it. Or sorry, please.
The only one I didn't play at all was like I think it was Deadlocked, which I think was the multiplayer one. There was like a
All for one.
No, this was like on PS2. I didn't play that one either, but I don't count that one. Like there was like a multiplayer like PS2 Ratchet and Clank game. That was like an arena shooter kind of thing. I don't know. I didn't play it. I think I might have participated in like a tournament at my local Game Crazy, which kind of segues into the other thing I was doing this week, which was playing in a local, or like not local, but like a small Dragon Ball Fighters tournament with some like Facebook people. Just like a group I'm in. It's been a lot of fun. I have done better than I expected to do. Our friend Chris, who was on the previous 2 episodes of our podcast, has had more success than me so far. He is not in the losers bracket. He is in the 3rd round. We are currently waiting on 2 matches to happen to update the bracket so we can continue with the tournament. Coordinating like an international tournament online, like via Facebook, is surprisingly difficult. People have work and things. Luckily, it's not like it doesn't have to happen all at the same time. But yeah, so I've been waiting since like early yesterday. I did my first match. It was pretty close. I lost my it was the sets are best of 3. I lost my first match. First fight. Then I came back and did the reverse. I don't even sweep, but I won the next 2. That match was like, okay, this guy is like similar skill level to me. That's okay. That's fine. Things are going good. And then get into my next match against the tournament organizer. He got a seed. Isn't that kind of unfair? The tournament organizer gets a seed.
Yeah.
Second round seed. So anyway, I go up against him, and he instantly 100s to 0s my first character.
Oh man, that's
this
rough.
This is a 3v3 fighting game. He fucks me up. And we had done like a friendly match like a week or 2 before, and he just like wiped the floor with me. So I walked into this match expecting to get my ass kicked, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's about right. And then, so I managed to fight back. I take out 2 of his guys with my 2 guys, and then we get down to his last guy, and I'm down to like half health or less on both my guys. If Alex skips the video, I don't know where it's at now, like 342, in that video is the moment where there's like this quote from Sonic Fox when he just won a tournament where he just decided, I'm not going to get hit anymore. And my health was down to like, if he got 1 combo on me, I was pretty much done, or like 1 good combo. And because he took out one of my guys, and he has full health on his last character, and I'm down to like 1 or 2 combos, and I'm done.
Yeah, watching this.
I decided I'm not going to get hit anymore. And I just pull out the clutch victory. It felt so good. I think I rattled him a little bit. He took a little while to hit rematch. Sadly, the next two fights were close, but he managed to pull out the victory. His Frieza is a problem, we'll say. Just full stop, a problem. And I do not want to. I want to go back up against him so I can win the tournament. But first, I have to make it to the losers bracket. I won my first match. I'm waiting on that second one.
Have you ever seen? Sorry, that just reminded me of. There's a clip from Evo in like 2004 or 2005 with Daigo and Justin Wong playing Street Fighter 3.
Is that the parry thing?
Like where he's like literally one shot away, but he parries 15 hits in a row and then wins.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, I did nothing so cool, but I did take him. Yeah, it felt good because it wasn't like I 100 to 0 him. I had to like actually figure out and like counter his attacks and block stuff, so that felt good. But also it was like kind of luck. So yeah, I can definitely feel myself improving though. That like after he wiped the floor with me before. And then I came in going, oh man, I'm just gonna get my ass kicked, and then pulling out victories like that. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm learning, I'm getting better, but I can also see like where all the mistakes were I made and how to improve. So hopefully next time, like a Saiyan, I learn from my defeat and get stronger.
Run through the sky on a giant snake.
Yes, I'm currently running 1,000,000 miles on Snake Way, aka the losers bracket. I'm going to train with King Kai, and the way it's shaping up, at least currently, it looks like I might be, unless something happens, I might be rematching the person I beat in the first round at the top of the losers bracket. But we still have a few matches to go through, so that'll be interesting.
Is anybody streaming these or commentating over them, or?
No, because it's like so. Everyone's just kind of doing their own tournament or, their matches when they can get them in, because everyone's different time zones and people have work and things like that. So hopefully this afternoon we'll wrap them up, but I don't know.
You can see the bracket though. I've been kind of peeking in it here and there.
And people are saving their matches and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. And it reminds, I'm kind of going through like a competitive multiplayer resurgence. Like I haven't touched competitive multiplayer games in a long time, or actually tried to be competitive in them. Like with fighting games, I usually play offline, just like arcade mode or local stuff. But I'm having a lot of fun. I got my first solo chicken dinner the other night.
Congratulations!
Felt great. Yeah, after 169 hours. Nice. But yeah, so and back in middle school, I would do tournaments at my local Game Crazy, Guitar Hero, that Ratchet and Clank game. I think I won a Donkey Konga tournament.
Nice.
So it's fun to get back into being competitive with friendly people. When I know who the people are and can talk some friendly trash, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say that group, we should. I don't mind plugging them. I will for you if you want. The Giant Bomb Fans for Fisticuffs group. It's the friendliest fighting game community I've ever seen on the internet.
Yeah.
Those people are all very, very nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of both casual fans who want to learn, and also some more experienced people. So yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe finding the next fighting game when Mortal Kombat comes out in 11 or 13 months. Yeah. But yeah, that tournament is fun, and I look forward to winning. I'm not sure if I'm going to change up my team. I was going Vegeta, Cell, and Beerus, but Vegeta, who I thought was my strong character, looks to be my weak link now. So I'm questioning everything about it. I don't know what to do. Don't know who I'll replace him with. But that's just the way things go, I guess.
I'm very excited to get back to that game now that everybody has stopped playing it, or everybody that is at my level has stopped playing it. But I picked up, I started playing more games that I need my thumb for, and I'm not sure that I'm prepared to start playing a fighting game yet, but
Yeah.
I'm healing at least. It's been holding up.
The blister I had keeps like reforming and so probably gonna get a callus there. My beautiful soft hands are being destroyed by this game, but it's okay because I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you all know, but for the stream purposes, I have a condition called dermatographia, where if there's too much friction or scratching on my skin, it usually turns into an allergic reaction, usually full of fluid or with hives. And the first time I ever played Katamari, I played it all day long, and my thumbs were like enormous and like super swollen afterwards.
I mean, what a game to do that with, I guess.
But it was so aggressive with like trying to push doing the quick one and things like that.
Did you wear gloves to I don't know how that. I'm not a doctor.
I have like the strap that they gave me for like my thumb, and I've found that it makes my hives worse. But I don't know. I think it's just because of like wearing tight clothing and stuff. Sometimes they do that to me too. So
get some cashmere game gloves.
I need cashmere game gloves. Take 6 Claritin ahead of time. Maybe then I won't have any allergic reactions.
Or a latex glove filled with lube, and then strap it to your hand.
Keep it super soft, super lubricated, then I'll be good to go.
Speaking of a latex glove filled with lube, I've been playing some games this week. The first game is Bad Segue, the game.
My favorite.
I talked about it last week, but I bought a new 2DS XL. So the majority of the week, I have just been kind of sampling 3DS games. So I have 9 or 10 that I had digitally on my old 3DS that I've recovered the store account for. And then I downloaded or rented 6 more. So I've got a load of different games, and I've literally dipped into most of them for between half an hour and 4 hours. But the game that I brought, to talk about this week is Bloodborne. So it's out on. Also, Burnout Paradise is currently playing. I did also play Burnout Paradise. It's still just as good as it was. I played the EA Access free trial, so you get 10 free hours up until next week. So I'll probably talk properly about Burnout next week, but for the time, I think Bloodborne is what I'm on about. So I played about 2 hours of Bloodborne this morning. I streamed all 2 hours. You can find the archive on my Twitch channel if you like. And the footage that we're showing right now is actually my gameplay footage. So I know you guys can't probably see the stream because you're on it. But I've got it open on my laptop and iPad, and I'm currently showing the run where I beat the Cleric Beast on my third try maybe. So I was pretty pleased about that. So Bloodborne is a game that I hated for the first, I would say, hour and 20 minutes of the 2 hours that I played.
Yeah, you were pretty negative.
Yeah, I was saying to my friend, because I was playing with a couple of friends, and one of them, he says it's his favorite game of all time, and the other guy was just starting out the same as me. And in fact, I overtook him during the stream, so he must be terrible at games because I'm incredibly bad.
Did he have someone telling him about stuff and where to go?
Yeah, so my friends Dan and Theo. Theo loves Bloodborne, and Dan was just starting to play. He played a couple of hours, and Theo was just saying, "Right, do this, don't do this," and walking him through everything. Whereas I was just kind of getting little hints and tips every now and then, some from Andre in the stream chat and some from Theo. But once I kind of got the hang of how the controls worked, I think that it's super unfriendly and unwelcoming as a game. If I hadn't had someone encouraging and keeping me entertained with humor and conversation during the stream, I definitely would have stopped playing about 20 minutes in, maybe even less.
So- Did I hear correct? The first time you played Bloodborne, you missed the weapons.
Yes. So
Oh
about
no.
2 years ago, I borrowed a copy of Bloodborne from a friend because they were trying to force me to play it. And I was like, all right, fine. So I played the game for 45 minutes. I died to the werewolf in the first room because I didn't know what any of the combat controls were, and went to the hunter's dream. And I was like, oh, those things on the floor are just messages. And don't need to look at those. So I didn't look at any of the messages, which were the things that give you weapons
And teach you how to play the game.
and teach you how to play the game. Because the game doesn't tell you that is the thing. So how would I know?
You're supposed to see the thing and be like, oh, what's that? I'm going to click on it.
Oh, I did that. I did that in the first room in the game.
You went,
And
oh,
it was
okay,
like-
here's how I move the camera.
Yeah, and like the first thing that I clicked on was like some user comment that was like, "Bad dude round corner?" Question mark.
Tri-tongue butthole.
Yeah, stuff like that. And I was like, all right, these are obviously 100% useless, so let's ignore these. And so I played the game for about 45 minutes. I did eventually manage to beat the werewolf barehanded, and was pretty surprised when he didn't drop a weapon or any kind of loot for me to use.
Oh my
I did
god.
that. I did that when I just booted up the game the other night. I fought that werewolf barehanded.
And then I went
One
outside
try.
and I fought the 3 Yarnum dudes that are outside, also barehanded, climbed up the giant ladder next to those dudes, got chased down by some other dudes, and fell back off the ladder and died from fall damage, and was like, you know what?
I know no one can see this, but I just want to point out that 3 of us just face palmed during this.
I've just been doing this one protracted facepalm.
He's doing the
I've
double
been
hand
mentally
Captain
face
Picard.
palming ever since you said you didn't get the weapons and fought everything barehanded.
So yeah, that took me about 45 minutes. It might actually have been like an hour and a half. I might be misremembering the time it took. It took a long time. And I instantly, the second when I died from the fall damage, I went to the PlayStation menu, deleted Bloodborne from my PS4, ejected the disc, and put it in my work bag to give back to my friend the next day.
And you didn't even think, I'm going to look up a walkthrough, or like, I'm going
not
to
a
try a
walkthrough
guy.
kind of guy.
Maybe you'd be better at video games.
No. And I basically was like, this isn't the game for me. Like, when, if you play a game for like, I don't know, an hour and the entire experience is negative, I feel like I'm not the kind of person to waste my time with something I don't love.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
I think that's reasonable.
You
but-
also skipped over the weapons.
It's reasonable to, yeah.
You're the only person I've heard have that experience.
Well,
So-
now
I feel
now it's the
like-
thing.
I feel like you and I have similar amounts of patience for games like this, as I don't ever want to struggle for a game. But I have kind of like a morbid curiosity about it, but I don't know if I want to dive into it. Do you think I should? Why
well,
are
I mean,
you
Free
enjoying
on
it?
PS Plus.
Yeah.
The reason that I enjoyed it, I think, in kind of the second half of my playthrough was Monster Hunter. So I played like 70 hours of Monster Hunter earlier this year, and that was how I beat the first boss. I just treated it like a monster. So
Weird.
I enjoyed it because it is very reminiscent of a game that I've played a lot of and really enjoyed. I don't know how much time I will give Bloodborne. I think it's probably going to be limited to kind of streaming and party play sessions, like an hour or so a week. But I do want to try and beat a couple more bosses. I got to Father Gascoigne and then got completely worked straight away at the end of my stream. You won't get to see this today because it's about 40 minutes after this section that I cut out for YouTube. because it took me about 40 minutes to get anything done after I beat the first boss. But
That Father Gascoigne fight is very tough.
Yeah,
that's
it's
good.
a lot of fun though once you beat it. I don't know. I love that game.
Yeah,
I feel
got
like
the
I got
platinum in
like
it.
I feel like I got like 15% of his health off like first try. So I don't know. And I went in with like no potions and no health.
I really want to watch you stream that fight. Like that fight that goes places.
Yeah,
Excellent.
it does.
Okay.
Hey, Erica.
Well, next
Such a
Saturday
pain.
morning. Well, Friday, Sunday, Saturday
Saturday night.
evening for you. Yeah, next Saturday night. If you haven't got a date, I'll be playing Bloodborne.
But yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Erica. I have
We'll
a question
see.
for you.
Yes.
So, if you've not been into these games, have you tried one of the ones that's like a little bit lesser of commitment, like the 2D ones, like Salt and Sanctuary or anything like that?
No, just because I've kind of written them off as one of those games, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, they definitely seem a little less scary, I guess, to dive into. But
Yeah.
and I think I own Salt Sanctuary. I'm pretty sure,
Pretty good.
but I don't think I've ever opened it.
You can own Bloodborne too. So
Yes.
Bloodborne 2, that's how.
I have someone
Coming
tagged
this
from the
fall.
Facebook group. I have someone tag. He said that if Bloodborne 2 gets announced, he's gonna shit his pants, and I have that saved somewhere so I can pull that quote out whenever I need it.
That's really good.
I have a screen cap of a comment thread of all the people saying that Destiny 2 is dead, just to look them back up when the expansion comes out in September. A collection of screenshotted names.
I mean, you can revive something with necromancy. It's still dead.
Well, or that they're saying it's a terrible game and that it's unredeemable.
And you can change a bad game.
Exactly. They've done it
Change a
before.
good
They'll
game.
do it again.
Maybe, but what if it's just the same thing?
That'll be great.
That's a conversation
Great.
that's a conversation for E3.
Yeah, I'll be super interested to see what we hear about Destiny later this year. But speaking of being super interested to hear stuff, let's take a break from talking about video games to playing a game.
Oh
So-
damn! Should I put on
man.
like Jeopardy
I'm
in the
excited.
background or something?
Yeah, put on Jeopardy music or something. I don't know.
We
So-
didn't play the game played us.
Exactly.
Sorry.
So from this week onwards, I'm going to be doing a little quiz for the team members of Daily Fix. Daily Fix? No, that's not right. Gaming Fix. Daily Fix is the IGN show. And,
Copyright infringement. Put that out.
yeah. Nah, we'll just say it. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be asking 5 multiple choice questions, and then I'll be totting up the results every week, and at the end of the year we'll have a 2018 champion, and we'll decide what that person gets as a prize at the end of the year. I guess maybe they get to have their own awards category at Game of the Year.
Visual novel of the year. Here we come.
Okay, so has everybody got their questions, their answers sheets ready?
I'm
Absolutely.
making mine over again because I lost them somehow. I started the stream and now
I love that the process of streaming, you're just like, well, they're gone now.
I literally have not moved. I don't know where they went.
Are you sitting
know.
on them?
I have
No.
new ones again. I probably am sitting on them.
Is that your mini pat?
So nobody
Got
knows.
Blizzard, Ace Combat, and I don't.
Call of Duty.
Crash
Call of
It's
Duty.
always
Bandicoot.
gonna be the answer is always going to be Ace Combat. That's the problem.
So everybody watching on the stream can't see, but on cameras I can see everybody is going to be holding up their answers at the same time. I'd like to see hands in the air so I know that there's no keyboard usage, no Googling. Scott would be very upset with you. I can't see Andre because his stream's frozen.
Gotta take a word for it.
So
I'm here, I promise.
Alex is doing a great dab. So I hope you're all happy about
You
this.
can't. He could have a tablet over there. You never know. It could be another computer.
Okay, so question number 1. How many 3DS games were shown in the March 10th Nintendo Direct?
Oh, fuck.
A, 7, B, 10, or C, 4? And I'll give you guys. I want you guys to show the answers in 3, 2, 1. Show them. Andre, what did you go for? Oh, I can see it. It's a C. So
No, what?
everyone
No.
who-
What? No.
That's an A. Ah, it's an A.
All right.
Okay. Nobody gets any points because it was B. They showed 10 3DS games.
Oh, it's not fair. I didn't watch it.
Me neither.
It was wishful thinking. I just was hoping it was dead.
I love it. 3DS, so it should never die.
We'll get to that.
I love the 3DS and it's dead now. Should be dead.
No.
Should continue
I
to die.
just bought one.
I had it right
That's
here.
what
It's
people
great.
say about the Vita. The Vita's getting fucking supported
Visual
in
novels every
2019.
Ugh. Let the old die.
Question 2. Which company originally published Psychonauts? Is it A, Activision, B, 2K, or C, Majesco?
I fucked up.
Good.
3, 2, 1. Show us your answers. So everyone who put C, you guys get a point. So that is
Yay.
Erica and Andre.
Dang.
Never
It should be
forget.
noted that on the stream we're watching a Mario Party like a Mario Party thing.
I love it. That's probably close to what we're doing right now, I guess.
Yeah, so all of these questions are based on the games that were in the YouTube playlist. So I hope you're all excited.
Oh.
Next question.
Oh,
What year was Wonderful Everyday first released?
I know this one. Thank you.
Is it A,
Yeah, I think I do,
2017, B, 2014, or C, 2010? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Show me your answers.
mine's reversed. Shoot.
Okay, so we've got 3 correct answers because it was 2010. So that is
Yeah.
Alex,
Heck yeah.
Allison, and
Thank-
Andre.
Thank you for the low ball.
I looked it up on Steam and I was like, oh, like when Alex talked about it earlier, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. It came out in 2010, so
Those
I looked it up
animated
too, but I thought it
visuals
said
look
20.
like they're from 2010.
Okay, what is Bloodborne's Metacritic score? Is it A,
oh,
93, B, 92, C,
oh,
87?
jeez.
Wow, that's rough.
So can you repeat the choices again? I kind of
So
missed
that is
the
A,
second one too now.
93%,
Okay.
B, 92%, or C, 87%.
All right.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Show me your answers. So anyone who put B, 92%, is correct.
Damn it.
Yay!
It changed.
I have no idea what Andre put because he was frozen the whole time.
I was C.
Excellent. So
Good
Erica has a
on
point. Okay, and a final question. What year did the first ever Ratchet and Clank game release? Is it A, 2005, B, 2002, C, 2004? Three, 2, 1. Show them.
Show them.
So anyone who put B, 2002, you are correct.
Oh, beans.
Dang.
I played that game. I should know that.
I've never played one.
I didn't play those, but I watched a lot of G4 in the early 2000s. So that era of gaming is like burned into my brain.
There were so many Ratchet and Clank games that there was definitely one that came out in 2004.
It's probably Going Commando.
Maybe.
I played one of them on PlayStation Now when that was new and horrible. So
Up Your Arsenal was Up Your
Okay,
Arsenal was 2004.
Marking the results right now. Okay, and it looks like we have a three-way tie. So, Alex got 1 point.
Hell yeah.
Pat got 1 point.
Yes.
Andre got 2. Allison got 2. And Erica got 2.
Yeah.
So, week
Killing
1,
it.
we've got
2 out of 5.
Andre.
All right.
Andre, Allison, and Erica up in front.
I'm
So
just
we're going
gonna
to be. I'm going to try and go with this format every week. So it's going to be guessable, multiple choice questions that you might, if you know the subject, know the answer. And maybe we'll try and do something fun and mix it up later in the year. But for the time being, I think this is a nice way to break up our 2 segments. But next up, we've got news.
Yeah.
So, okay, sorry, 1 second. Alexa is talking to me.
Is she laughing? She's like, that's a stupid idea. What's she saying?
She's giving me my flash briefing. I told her to shut up, but she obviously wasn't listening. We have 2 items on our news report this week. One of them is a pretty big one, which is we're going to talk a little bit about the Nintendo Direct. But I figure first we'll talk about Alison's favorite news topic of the last decade. The one that she said
yes.
had to be discussed.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
Alex, if you'd like to cue up the inside video.
On the way.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to read. Oh, I don't have the press release. I did have it. Here we go. Okay. I Am 8-Bit, Playdead, and Real Doll are collaborating on a mysterious collector's edition for Inside. We will not tell you what it is. Maybe it's what you're thinking. Maybe not. We can confirm that there are several items included, one of which is a PlayStation 4 game disc. The rest is up for speculation. Contents will be revealed when collector's edition ships. No matter how hard you try, we won't tell you. After June 8th, 2018, pre-orders will cease forever. FYI, this edition weighs a surprising amount.
Loot boxes got weird.
It's because it has a sex doll in it. That's what that is.
How big do we have dimensions on the box?
I believe there is something here.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
No, there are no dimensions.
There's
However,
no dimensions. Yeah, there's like an image, but
The image
who
is
knows how
extremely
accurate
funny.
that is.
There's
just gonna
only one thing it can possibly be from that game, right?
Right.
The pig.
I mean,
Oh no.
It's the helmet. It's the helmet that you like when you jump up and then you run around. But the helmet?
Yeah,
No.
no, it's the dogs
Yeah.
from the fence.
oh no.
Oh.
It's the fence.
I would love it if they just like gave you like a section of fence and they're like, this is it.
It's like a little diorama.
Oh, and there's
Just-
limit
it's
2
just a
per
chain
customer,
link fence,
so you
like
know.
a 6-foot chain link
2.
fence that they post you.
I do need
2.
to. Yeah.
That
I'm just like, I'm so intrigued by this, which is why I told us that we had to talk about it. And I know that that's on purpose so that they'll get people to pay just under $400 for a collector's edition of a game that costs nowhere near that much. But I'm intrigued.
$400. How big do we think this is going to be?
Not that. Well, it can't be that
I think
big.
it's like,
I mean, it's got to be around the size of a person, right?
It weighs a surprising amount.
if you look,
Yeah,
if you
but
look
what if the
at,
surprising amount means that it weighs like almost nothing? I would be very surprised.
I would be
I feel
surprised
like
by a
the-
real doll product that weighs
doing
almost
this,
nothing.
but you don't have to.
Well, it says the edition weighs a surprising amount, hence associated shipping fees and tariffs. So I'm assuming it's heavy, but maybe that's like to throw us off. I don't know. I'm really excited to learn about it because I had the brief thought of like, do I need to buy this? But I don't have that kind of money to throw around like on something completely mysterious. But I'm just intrigued by whoever chooses to get that collector's edition, and I'm intrigued to hear what's in it.
I
I
mean,
feel like it's definitely a sensible thing that we all club together and buy one as a group.
I was
Oh my
gonna say
God.
we could
Who gets
ship
to
it
do
to
it
Alison.
we could pool it up and then have like shared custody
Yeah.
of whatever it
God.
is.
You'll have to
please
you'll have to
no.
post me this 2-foot wide flesh ball.
God.
I think it's so gross.
Yes.
Okay, we
Covered-
just like we would have to
Covered
just
in
like
lint and dust. And
Oh.
we would just have to be like make a pact that none of us would let it get that gross. Like
So
it's
what
gonna get
Alison's
gross
saying
to
is
the certain
nobody
extent.
fuck it.
Yeah. I
no,
agree.
no,
That's what I mean.
no.
Like we have a pact to not
Mean it.
do that.
After you fuck it.
Pat left.
Fuck it.
He's out.
I'm out. I get my own inside special edition.
Oh man.
Oh God.
Pat,
Pat,
come back.
this is not why I'm walking around. Although it's convenient timing.
Oh
He
man.
can't be on camera. He's got to hide his extremely visible erection.
Yes.
You wouldn't see it on the camera.
I said extremely visible.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad we already put the NSFW tag on this podcast.
Yeah.
I
To
gotta
the point
know
where
this.
I have to do like a presentation about myself at work coming up, and I was definitely considering like, oh, should I talk about my podcast? And now I'm going like, no, probably not.
Guys, maybe you should listen to episodes 1 through 9. They're really good.
Don't listen to please.
Maybe don't listen to more than 90 minutes of episode 2. Episode 2,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm totally and utterly incredibly interested in what this thing is.
Yeah, me too. Like I really like that game a lot. I liked Limbo maybe more, but I
like
really
Limbo,
liked that game.
but I loved Inside. I thought it was so. I really got into Inside, and so I'm like, it's the type of thing where if there was a cheaper collector's edition, I'd probably like go, yeah, I'm swinging for that. But just the fact that they're promising this, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
I'm
I'm
assuming it
intrigued
will
too.
leak out. I'm
If-
assuming it'll leak out that like somebody at Real Doll will just be like, "This is what we're making."
I
Just
I
wanna.
bet-
Somebody post an Instagram of like, what the hell are we making
I
today?
bet- okay, wait. Oh, so they said pre-orders end in June. Do we know when it ships?
No, it says the site only
2019.
says shipping when done and admits yes, that's vague. Although apparently a press release that PC Gamer received said estimated to ship 2019, so it's gonna take a while.
I could
First quarter in
s-
2019.
I could see it leaking out after pre-orders are done,
Yeah, probably.
but also they'd probably say like no refunds, so
No
Probably.
takebacksies.
no takebacks.
No
Just
returns.
like
That's
when-
for damn sure.
When Cards Against Humanity sold fucking bullshit.
You can return it, but it has to be sealed hermetically.
No, I just mean you can't cancel your pre-order.
Yeah, they probably just take the money straight away so they can use it to build the real dolls, the giant flesh one. What if it's just a life-size boy as a real doll, like a life-size faceless white boy?
We can't do this. I gotta have to walk away again.
No, don't do that. No.
That's like I'm trying to find a job, guys. God damn it.
I'm not
Like,
gonna walk
if-
down this road with you.
I just feel like they should have given maybe a few more details about it because I feel like
No.
Maybe said not a sex thing at the beginning of the thing.
no, like if it is a sex thing, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, you know,
Is it-
I would say if for me personally, if this is what I believe it probably is, which in my opinion is probably going to be that big mass from the end of the game, but with a hole in it. Like there's, you know, a population that can't use that.
Right, right.
You know, I would be very upset if I spent, what is it, $375
Yeah.
and I couldn't use it. You know?
Like
I mean,
I wouldn't
that-
want to use
I've-
anything like that from this game. Oh
I
god.
was just gonna say, like that flesh ball kind of has a lot of protrusions, so
that's exactly what I was going to say.
I wouldn't want that.
I feel like the canonical version of it is much more useful for a woman than a man.
Oh no.
like 20 women.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Fuck.
Just
Yeah, I
imagine.
don't know the gender of all those people
Yeah.
in that ball.
Just imagine if you pre-order this and it's actually like 6 foot in diameter, and they like come up to your house with it on a pallet, and they're like, "Happy delivery day. I hope your door is wide."
I don't like
No,
this.
it'll be squishy, so it'll just like.
Oh no.
Like Winnie the Pooh going in his house
Oh,
door.
don't
You just keep
Oh,
making
man,
it
I
worse.
don't conflate
I
Winnie
just-
the Pooh with this.
I just had a
Oh,
real
no.
bad idea for a real doll, but okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. This has gone far enough.
Yeah, speaking
Yeah.
of anatomically correct sex dolls, Nintendo had a direct on I think Thursday for me, 10 p.m. And they announced 10 3DS games.
What if they
as
were
we
like,
all found out earlier.
we're happy to announce an exciting new Switch hardware revision. We're partnering with Real Doll.
But no, it's Real Doll's already locked up with I Am 8-Bit. It's they're partnering with Bad Dragon.
Oh my god!
They're partnering with Bad Dragon for a new Switch sleeve, like the Wii condoms that they gave out.
Oh my
Oh
god.
god!
It's Labo DLC.
So to get 10% off of Bad Dragon, use Gaming Fix at checkout.
Oh no.
I immediately regret saying we had to talk about this.
What are you talking about? This is gold. This will be the featured video on our YouTube channel for the first
God,
2
no.
years.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Alex,
do
I think
give
you
you
should
like
probably cut this
active
part
stuff,
out.
though. No, this is gold.
Yeah, it's not leaving.
No, when I say cut this part out, I mean and put it on the feed as its own separate item.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'll make sure that everyone's full name, including middle is included.
Okay, yeah.
Thank God you don't know my middle names. Samuel James Bond Harrison.
I'm seeing some Wario on the screen.
So yeah,
For the 3DS, like, how do they miss? That's just like a swing and a miss to me. WarioWare on the 3DS.
the reason it's on 3DS is because it uses all of the DS stuff because it has all the DS WarioWare games in it. So it's got touch, microphones, and gyro controls, which I think only one of those things you could do on the Switch.
I'm just saying they fucked up.
I think that
on the one hand, I
they're
still
cheating.
use my 3DS, so I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna be really excited to play more WarioWare. But at the same time, it should be on the Switch too.
I feel like it's a test for whether there's a market for WarioWare on the Switch.
Well, time to buy it day one because I just want WarioWare. I love WarioWare games.
I've never played a WarioWare game.
They are very fun. They're very silly.
Yeah. Have you ever
I
played
just want to point out that the game that's currently being shown on the video stream is the one where Miis can become furries.
Yeah.
What's it called? Oh,
Dylan's Rolling Adventure, I think.
Dead Heat Breakers.
Look.
Yeah, that's close enough. There's your furry me right there. Oh, well, there you go. It's basically you get a me and you can put a animal costume on it.
So
but
Sam,
it's not a costume.
So naturally, what would your Mii's persona be?
I think a red panda. Because I'm unique and international.
Moving on.
All right.
Yeah. So
That answer was too detailed.
I was in a pub once, and there was a furry convention in the pub in the street opposite, and there were a lot of people in full fursuits out in the street vaping. So that was great.
Oh my god.
With or without heads on. Like,
With heads on. The Venn diagram for vaping and for furries is 100% just a circle. We all know it.
Vape Nation, y'all.
Yeah.
I don't want to put furries in a box like that.
They want to be in a hot box, a blueberry hot box. Currently, we're watching the direct of the stream as well, and this they're talking now about Bowser's Inside Story for 3DS.
Is that
Yeah.
Wait, what?
This isn't an exciting game, but the most exciting thing is it comes out in 2019.
Oh,
Nintendo has
Wow.
3DS games planned for 2019.
wow.
I literally today just bought the Superstar Saga remake for 3DS because that's genuinely one of my favorite games of all time. And so I will definitely be buying this because I Mario and Luigi RPGs are really great, but why 3DS though?
Yeah.
Like I don't own a 3DS anymore, so that's another thing I'm not buying.
Have there
I just rebought one. I'm excited.
has there ever been a Mario and Luigi game on a console though, or have they always been handheld?
They've always been handheld.
So yeah, they've always been handheld.
Just don't
First
let you
one
dock
is-
it while you play it on the Switch. Only playable in handheld mode. Problem solved.
Yeah. Well, the thing about like the first one was for Game Boy Advance, so that would definitely be something that you could port over to Switch. But the others have all been DS stuff, so they have varying degrees of, dual screen stuff.
Yeah, like I
So
forget
that
which-
might be tricky.
Sometimes they relied on the dual screen stuff too. Like there's one where you had to hold it
Yeah.
sideways and stuff like that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
happened with Bowser's Inside Story too. So it's like
When you play as Bowser, it's book style, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that could be tricky. So I definitely understand why they're making it 3DS, just because I don't know. It might be tricky to figure out how to do that with the Switch, but
Yeah.
man, I wish that they were bringing some of these games to Switch.
We did talk over Detective Pikachu, but that's out in 13 days, so I don't think it's really worth having a proper conversation about. Apart
Yeah.
from the fact that Nintendo revealed that the size of the Detective Pikachu amiibo is 5.3 inches, whereas the previous the Pikachu amiibo is 2 inches. So that's a pretty good upgrade. I've already pre-ordered that amiibo, so I'll review it on the podcast in a few weeks' time.
Are you gonna do it like Griffin's Amiibo Corner style?
Definitely. I did one previously where I talked about amiibos, but I can't remember. I even had the Wii Shop music. It was a great time.
There's something incredibly perverse about putting a 5.3-inch Pikachu in your mouth.
Well, now we're not using
What is
Facecam.
this episode coming to?
Now we're not using Facecam. I don't know whether it's worth it. Also, I need to make sure that the only amiibos I buy are partnered with Real Doll.
Oh my god.
Is that like the Metroid one?
They're
It's like
surprising
nice and
weight.
squishy.
The Metroid amiibo is not squishy at all. It's bad. Well, it's a great amiibo, and it's basically like thick plastic that has nothing in it that you can kind of squeeze, but it's not squishy. It's not gel filled like you want.
I mean, they couldn't, because then if like someone popped it, it'd get all gross or something.
Yeah, but it would have been way better. We also we just talked over Luigi's Mansion being re-released for 3DS, so I don't think anybody cares about that, do they?
I might play it if it was on the Switch. That's my feeling on all these games.
That
They're
makes me
now
feel like I
showing-
might dig out my 3DS to play Luigi's
Ooh.
Mansion. I think I know where it is. I think it's
You
with my
play
Vita.
Luigi's Mansion too.
Whoa.
They're showing
Sorry, I didn't know
Kirby
they were
Star
putting
Allies,
Okami out.
which
I
comes
can
out
see
in
that
6
one.
days.
Cool.
What comes out in 6
Yeah.
days?
Yeah,
Kirby
Kirby
Star
Star
Allies.
Allies. There's a demo on the eShop right now if anyone wants to give it a shot. I've given it a shot. I played the easy and the hard mode demo, and they were a good time. I'll probably talk more about it because I'm actually going to buy that game, I think. Now we're looking at Akami HD. That's a game that I think everybody owns by now.
I actually,
never played it.
I do not. I've never played it. I don't own
Yeah,
it.
me neither.
I own probably 2 copies of Okami at this point.
I
It's
should
played it
play
a long time ago, but it's been a while. So I'm actually interested in trying it out on Switch.
Yeah, it's one of those games that I kind of always meant to play and never did. So,
Same.
This will be a good way to do that.
I think if you could use the touchscreen, that game would be amazing.
You can.
Yeah, you can.
Hell yeah.
Then it's amazing.
I'm going to give it a shot. I played it on PS2 when it first came out and didn't really get into it, but I didn't like Zelda games at the time, and I know that Akami is like very Zelda-like.
Oh, it's
So-
Yeah,
super Zelda.
I played it on Wii, but I never got that into it. So,
Mhm.
but I liked it a lot. It was kind of a pain to play on Wii, but I think that on Switch it could be really good with the touchscreen, especially.
We're now watching the video for Sushi Striker: The Way of Sushido, which looks like it has an incredibly over-the-top, really silly story for a sushi match 3 game.
Yeah, the
that'll be-
gameplay doesn't look super intriguing because like Andre mentioned in our chat, the only sushi game that matters is the Lickitung game from Pokemon Stadium, but story does look very over the top.
I'd be interested in trying this out if it is cheap, but I don't think it's gonna be. This is like one of the like 3 games that was actually announced for the Switch in this stream. Like barely any were announced. They were all just things that we kind of knew about.
I mean, they're getting stuff out of the way for E3, which is 3 months
right.
away. So.
Octopath Traveler is officially called Octopath Traveler, so that's funny.
Okay.
I think it makes about as much sense as Final Fantasy and Bravely Default. So,
I figured they were going to take more time with that based on what they said after the demo, kind of late last year. But
it's out in June.
Yeah. So mid-late last year, like, was it August or I don't know, like late summer, they put out the demo, and then they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to take your feedback into account. So it seemed like they were open to changing things. So I wonder how much they actually changed, or what that change looked
hard
like.
to say.
Yeah, the producers at the beginning of the segment in the direct, and he's like, based on your feedback, we've made X, Y changes.
Mm-hmm.
So I will totally watch. I'll totally play the demo at some point soon. I tried to play it a couple of times before when I was a bit tired and fell asleep. So
yeah, I have the demo downloaded, but I haven't played it yet. But it looks interesting, so I'm interested in it.
I love the art style.
Yeah. I finished the demo when it came out, and it didn't really move me. So we'll see.
I'd be interested to see the reviews on this game because it could just be another Tokyo RPG Factory snooze fest.
True.
Okay. We're still actually on Octopath Traveler. We're actually ahead of the game. So July 13th, 2018, that comes out. So that's like the month after E3. So they're not targeting E3 week to try and get good reviews. Let's have a look. Next up is something else, but this is taking a long time. Oh, they're talking about the special edition here. So there's like a
special edition
diorama and a book.
Cool.
It does look cool. I'm kind of tempted to buy it, I have to say. I'd want to see how much it costs because that book thing looked cool.
Yeah, the book thing looked really neat.
Okay, next up we've got No More Heroes, Travis Strikes Again. So this looks like a different game style collection sort of thing. I've never played No More Heroes or No More Heroes 2, so I'm probably not the person to speak on this game.
This whole direct was stuff that I have never played or had very little interest in.
Yeah, I've heard good things, but I've never tried it.
Yeah.
Connected to Bluetooth.
This one looks like it's got 2-player support, so that could be interesting, especially if it's same screen stuff. That'll be cool. Coming out in 2018, so we should see that at some point.
I will check it out.
Can we talk about news of the direct, which is now coming out? Obviously, the biggest, best news in this direct.
Yes.
Amiibo news. What I wait for from every direct is a new Amiibo announcement. And this time,
a problem.
I don't have a problem.
Yes, you do.
Well, I have a problem.
Sickness.
The problem
This is an intervention.
that I don't own enough Amiibo.
I think I saw something on your Facebook where your fiance did not know that you bought another Amiibo and you were supposed to stop.
She did know it was a fun goof. But I had basically, when we got Gus, my second cat. Oh wait, they're showing it now. They're showing it. It's a Dark Souls Amiibo. I don't even like Dark Souls, but I'm buying it.
Now you're playing up Bloodborne. Maybe they'll convert.
Yeah, well, they're not. Maybe I should buy a Bloodborne Takuto or whatever PS4 Amiibos that don't do anything are called. Totaku, that's it.
I think.
Do you think Kotaku were like, hey man, come on?
No, because their name is a fucking spin-off of Otaku.
Well, there you go.
They don't own...
But yeah, so there's going to be a Solterra Vestera. I think that's how it's pronounced. Amiibo for Dark Souls, praising the sun. which is, I think, the best amiibo in joke since the Luigi amiibo that was originally his weird nosedive thing from Smash Brothers. I love a good amiibo, and I think that one in particular is quite funny to look at. So it will become part of my collection. There were actually 2 amiibos mentioned in this direct, so obviously they know that I'm watching. And I've already pre-ordered one and will pre-order the other. So they're talking about they're showing Mario Tennis now. Mario Tennis looks like you can play with 2 Joy-Cons, which is kind of cool. And I don't know whether there was a date for this. I can't remember at the end.
I can't remember either.
I feel like it's April, May time, because they said it was Q1 when they announced it. But I don't know if anyone else saw the Chain Chomp with the tennis racket.
20 seconds.
That's the only character worth playing in this game, is Chain Chomp with the tennis racket in its mouth.
Or Waluigi with his extremely good hair for no reason.
Yes.
What was that release date, Andre?
June 22nd.
That is hogwash, because now I can't play with my family on our holiday in 2 weeks' time.
So you're talking about the Chain Chomp. What is y'all's go-to like character in like the Mario games, where like Mario Party or like a Smash Brothers, or like if you have Mario characters to pick from, who do you choose?
Wii Fit Trainer.
So
Smash Bros is a bad choice. Like it's like the sports games or Mario Party.
So in Mario Kart, I play King Boo.
Mm-hmm.
In Mario Party, I would probably go for Luigi or Waluigi.
It's a trick question. You never play Mario Party.
I hope that when the Mario Party comes out on Twitch, it has network play so that I can force you guys into a 50 turns stream.
It's never gonna happen.
No.
I always play Wario for Mario Kart, but other than that, I don't think I have like a strong preference.
Yeah, I don't really have like a strong one. Like I usually play as Peach, just so that I can have like whatever cute outfit she's wearing.
Word.
but like I don't really have like a strong fave like I do in some other games.
When I was playing Mario Kart 8, I was playing as Cat Peach a lot just because she's so cute. But like, but like
I want to
so
have
slow too.
Yeah, I just want to have like a pink car, so that's kind of my jam with that stuff. So
the direct has like 10 minutes of this tennis game, so I skipped this ahead. We're now at Captain Toad.
Okay, you don't want to answer the question, I see.
Oh, I play what's her name, Rosalina.
Okay,
Rosalina is good too.
I never played the Galaxy games, so I have no affinity with Rosalina. Although I did almost buy her amiibo
Those
today.
games are good.
They're the best Mario 3D games.
You have no affinity
you know what other game
for her,
is
but you
good?
bought the amiibo.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Yeah.
I own a Wii U and I still never played this, so I'm actually interested in getting it for Switch.
They're pretty cool.
I say the same as well. Never played it. Owned a Wii U. Always planned on buying it, but never got round to it. So I think this will be a real good summer game for me for the train.
I have levels. Yeah, I have played it. So like there are new levels, but I'll probably wait like the 4 years till it's on sale.
This is also one of the games coming to 3DS. That game's going to be on 3DS this year.
That makes sense.
The 3DS version actually looks real cool. The next game that's up is Undertale, which is, in my opinion, a bad game.
I think it is It's a game that got a cult following, that got extremely vocal and kind of abrasive.
Yeah. So I like that game a lot. I got all of the endings in it. I played it all 3 times, all the way through. And it's a game that I think if I played it today, I maybe wouldn't enjoy it as much just because of the cult following around it.
Yeah, I played it before it got a lot of that, like that kind of reaction, and I don't know if I would play it today if I had just like come at it fresh, which is a shame because I think it's a really nifty game.
Yeah.
But
I
The
didn't
music
think
in
it
that
was
game.
funny, and I feel like jokes are the whole point of that game.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, I
Or at
wouldn't
least
say
the
it's the
first
whole
like
part.
3
of the
hours
game.
that I played.
Yeah,
They
It
do
is pretty slow to start.
Yeah,
It
they do
is.
some really cool stuff with the music in that game that I think is really fun.
Yeah.
They do like a
Music-
lot of referential things with the music in that game.
If
It's-
they
it's-
remade that game for phones, I think I'd give it another shot.
It's it got localized for Japan last year, and so I've got students who are constantly coming at me and be like, "Oh, do you know about this?" I'm like, "Oh, what?" Yeah, what? That's Sans. What? 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 I have a picture of Sans drawn in your notebook. This is English class, not Sans class.
The next game that came up was Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Does anyone care about Crash anymore?
No,
Crash
Crash.
giving a
Crash,
very
go away.
enthusiastic
Like,
sound.
it
Crash
was
always sucked.
it was cool when it showed up in Uncharted 4 as like,
Yeah.
oh hey, look at this goofy thing. But also that game takes place in like modern day, but they're like, oh yeah, we're playing Crash Bandicoot. What?
Well, actually, it was set in 2018, and they were playing it on the Nintendo Switch.
No, they weren't. Get out of here. Go away.
I hate
That's
Crash.
not how. I have no qualms, but I have no desire to play Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
You can
Like,
probably
it's-
get me in with that Spyro collection if that is that actually happening or is that rumored? I don't
That
remember.
should happen. Those are
There's
I
a
only
code
played
in the
I only played the
Crash
first
game.
one, but
So apparently, Little Nightmares is also coming out on Switch, and it has Pac-Man amiibo support.
Nice.
I really enjoyed that game.
I
I
didn't
don't know
play
how well
the
it'd hold
second
up.
one at all. I played the first one. I liked it a lot, but
are they not doing like the buy the one get the other thing?
Nope.
Weird.
Yeah, I think for me, the first South Park, like the second South Park game, looks like it complicates too much stuff. Like, I don't come to the South Park game to play Fire Emblem.
yeah.
Like, I just want to like get crowd people name checked and like see weird stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's what I think they were. And also, it wasn't Obsidian making it; it was Ubisoft somewhere. I don't want to say Montreal because that's definitely not right. But Ubisoft somewhere were making it.
Yeah.
Did anyone
um,
play the second one? Like, I'm curious about
No.
it.
That's the sort of thing that I think I would buy on PS4 in a sale. I don't think I'd be picking that up for my Switch.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think if I
playing
got
South
it
Park on the train.
dirt cheap, I would get it. But
Yeah.
other than that,
They're now talking about Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, which is something I will definitely buy.
I'm
I
interested
thought
in
that was
it.
already a thing.
No, so it's out on 3DS and on Wii U, but it's not out on Switch, and they're re-releasing on Switch with what looks like way better graphics. It's coming out the week after my birthday on May 18th.
I'm really into that too. I'm probably gonna pick that up.
I played a lot. I
Congratulations.
completed Fire Emblem Warriors, so I'm interested to see that Zelda-ized.
Yeah, I really liked it a lot on Wii U, and I'm interested to see some of the other content just because I thought it was a really fun game.
Yeah, I'd like to see how much there is to play of that. They're also doing an ARMS tournament, which anyone who
Cool.
lives in the US and Canada can play. ARMS is
That's-
actually like super fun.
That's really cool. I always wanted to play ARMS a lot. I never bought it, and I kind of was like, this is probably dumb for me to buy because it's not going to have a big online community. So it's cool to see they're doing a tournament. It actually makes me kind of want to pick it up and play it and
Yeah.
see if I can get
Apparently,
good.
it totally has a really good online community that's like super strong, like Splatoon.
Cool. I
Because
actually
they don't have any good fighting games.
Yeah. I played
Yeah, I-
Splatoon on the drive out here in a hotel room and was reminded that that game is still fucking fantastic too.
The game is so good.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
we
be
can come
talking
back
more
to
about
this
Splatoon later.
discussion. We can come back to
Yeah,
this
yeah,
discussion
no.
at the end. because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I didn't mean to derail us.
on
I'm just
that.
Yeah.
No,
But
no.
ARMS is pretty good. I didn't get super into it, but like I'm not a huge fighting game person, but I enjoyed what I played of it, so I'm interested in trying to maybe pick it up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the one thing that I found super interesting, this is like one of my most exciting things from this, was that there's going to be a developer talk at GDC about ARMS. Because I think a lot of people will know this, but the Mario Kart team made ARMS, which is why it kind of feels like a wrestling / fighting game for everyone. That like my 55-year-old mother can play just as well as like my 13-year-old stepbrother.
Yeah.
Especially with motion controls being like actually pretty intuitive. I felt like in ARMS, I felt the motion controls were genuinely the best way to play. So yeah, I'm super interested, and I will totally watch that talk. It's on the 21st of March.
Yeah, and
Splatoon content right now, by the way.
Oh, and GDC posts so many good talks onto their YouTube channel. So if you're looking for a lot of stuff that gets a little bit deeper into game dev stuff, definitely check out the GDC YouTube account.
Yeah,
and it should be noted.
There's a few things. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just gonna say it should be noted that Splatoon 2 is the rest of this direct, except for a minor thing at the end that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it's important.
They got Biggie and Tupac DLC,
kind of
East Coast West Coast beef DLC for Splatoon.
Yeah, it's totally exactly as you said. It's Biggie and Tupac themed DLC, which is quite funny. Well, not themed, but themed to characters.
It looks like you can maybe be an Octoling with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can be an Octoling in this new DLC. And I think from what I remember of and talking about it on the Beastcast, when you finish the DLC, you unlock Octolings for play in multiplayer.
I think that was just speculation. I don't think they actually clarified.
Oh, well, there we go. All of these characters are dressed extremely funnily. I'm a big fan of the crustacean in the suit with the gold chain.
This whole thing, I'm watching it again now. This whole thing is amazing.
So. I remember Sam and I were watching it, and like in our group chat, and just being like, "What are we watching?"
Yeah,
because it is so out there and great.
The music for this is extremely good as well. I remember the music being
yeah.
Good. Is that old ass octopus dressed as a Beastie Boys member?
I want to believe that that's what that's supposed to be evoking. I don't know if that's true, but
I hope so.
I hope you can get that style in the game, like for your characters.
You have to be able to, surely. But more Splatoon single player content is kind of all good with me, to be honest. Like Splatoon single player is super cool.
I never played the single player. I never got into it, but I should try.
It's all just like a big tutorial for the weapons in the multiplayer.
That's why I'm really interested in this, because it's a lot of the single player is like very tutorial-y, so seeing what they intend for like an expansion,
maybe it's where they're going to show you high level play stuff,
maybe. Yeah.
And but yeah, it looks really cool, and I always thought that the Splatoon levels are huge. The single player levels are huge sprawling things, which are super cool. Do we want to talk about the thing that's at the end of the direct now?
The reason that ARMS will no longer have an online scene.
No.
First off, just to say it now, they announced a Smash Brothers game for Switch.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a show of hands of who cares about Smash Brothers.
Kind of.
Like casually. I mean, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, totally.
I bought a Wii U to play Smash Brothers.
Okay, so we've got a few people who are interested in it. I've never
I also
enjoyed
bought like 4 Wii U controllers so I could play 8 player Smash with people.
That's dedication.
Like twice.
Yeah, I don't know whether I'll buy the game yet. I think it's something that I might take a peek at, because I've never really fully tried and invested myself into a Smash game. I think I had I had Melee, and I played not Melee. Melee on GameCube. I had Melee and played like probably quite a few hours of that, but I basically just used the C stick to hit stuff as Ness. Hit stuff with my baseball bat. So
yeah, I'm the type that I like all of them, and I like the changes. Like when I was saying yesterday, like when I see someone go in and like we sit down to play Smash and they turn off items and turn off Smash balls and stuff, that's when I'm like, I'm not gonna have fun now.
Yeah.
Because I like Smash as a party game. I don't find it particularly compelling as a like fighting game, and I don't.
It's a game, no.
But I think it's incredibly fun as a party game if you have the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it a lot when I was growing up. N64, Melee, and then Brawl, and I played a decent amount on 3DS. So it's one of those games where I'm not super invested, but I've played so much of it that I'm probably gonna just buy whatever version. And I'm with you though. I'm not super into it as as like competitive or anything. I just think it's a really fun time. And
totally.
The past two games, Brawl and then the 4 both have so much content in them that they always seem like they're really good deals just because they always have so many like extra modes and extra ways to play Smash that I'm anticipating it'll be the same for Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very vocal when we were doing like our predictions for the year from Nintendo and stuff when we did that Nintendo episode, saying if they announce a new Smash this year, it will be a like redux of Smash 4 for the Wii U. And now I'm not so sure because they're like making a big deal about Sakurai being back and like working on the game. And
Maybe
like
he's working on the 2 new characters that they're adding, the Inkling boy and girl.
that's going to be one character in a palette swap. Like I believe it'll be like they didn't say like what capacity he's working in, but it might be a little more substantial than just like Smash 4U but like we don't call it Smash 4U. Like what do you even call that?
Smash
DX. Smash DX.
It'll just be Mario Kart Deluxe. That's what it's going to be.
Maybe
the amount
like
of time
I don't
Sakurai takes to make a game.
Well, yeah, but he says he's been working on it for a while. So like they just announced it, but he's been working on it. And I think he did that because like the public pressure of all the fans like scrutinizing everything about Smash 4 and wanting it basically to be Melee, but be a new game and have all this new stuff, but don't change this. And like,
yeah,
people sucking and put Goku in it.
Just you saw the Brian Altano tweet.
Yeah, and also I saw someone say put Goku in it. Like,
I mean,
I think seriously, like Goku has been in some good ass Nintendo exclusive games. Legacy of Goku for the not Legacy of Goku, Legacy of Goku 2 for the GBA. Probably my favorite Nintendo exclusive game. So like, yeah, put Goku in there, I guess. But I mean, he's gonna win. So also, I heard somewhere that people were speculating Geralt of Rivia was gonna be in Smash.
That would be so
Are you
weird.
high? He's never been on a Nintendo console
yet.
Yeah, there you go. That's the real answer.
What's your full?
They got Cloud. Like that was weird.
If everybody here had one character that they would want to add to the new Smash, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Like a realistic one or like whatever?
Whatever you want. Just maybe
that hunk of meat from Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh,
that'd be good.
Dragonborn from Skyrim. That could actually fit because of that port.
The hunk of meat from inside.
Oh God! You mean the real doll from inside?
The real doll from inside.
I would love to see. Love to see Mr. Rogers.
Bob Ross. No, he's already in Smite. So yeah.
What about Daisy? Maybe they could just put Daisy in the game.
She's a palette swap for Peach. She's already in there.
My somewhat realistic-ish, probably not choice would be Shovel Knight.
That's a good.
Yeah,
that's a good
I
pick.
can see that.
Yeah,
I'm serious about that Dragonborn one. I think that would be pretty cool.
Diva.
All of the Overwatch characters.
Yeah, it's just.
And now it's a first-person shooter.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about Madeline from Celeste?
Okay. I'd actually really like that.
Revolver Ocelot.
Also, the fact that there's no like Paper Mario stuff in it, it makes me sad. So
Yeah.
if they could have like yet another Mario and add Paper Mario.
No, I could see them doing like a Paper Mario stage.
Wario and Waluigi's girlfriends.
Is this the time to add Waluigi, or do they keep like just shunting him off to the side?
They have
Because
to.
if Mario Tennis isn't Waluigi focused in the story mode, because that was his first game, right? Was Mario Tennis on the GameCube?
Yeah, he's in the opening cutscene. Hey there, Mr.
Yeah.
Eyeballs.
Yeah, so if he's not the focus of Mario Tennis Aces in the single player, then he's
Nintendo knows
never
that
doing
they want
anything.
it. That's why they won't give it to us.
You should add Pascal from Nier Automata. I heard there's a Nier Switch port in the works.
Yeah, I was surprised it didn't get announced on the Switch anniversary. Marcus Sellers, the guy who leaked basically all the Nintendo Direct in advance, was like Nier port for Switch being announced on the anniversary.
I'm actually not convinced that exists. I know he's really good and accurate, but
You gotta be wrong sometimes.
I don't know if that's the right audience for that game. But
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be cool if it was.
Maybe after Kamiya's tweet about not having the virtual console.
Yeah, that was extremely fun.
Platinum have been cut off because they didn't announce the virtual console. They heard no virtual console, no Nier for Switch,
3.
no Bayo 3. Get it, Ninty?
There's one more news article that I actually forgot to talk to you guys about earlier on, but I'm not really going to go deep into it because I think I'll talk about it a bit more next week. But Fortnite is coming to mobile.
I saw that too.
With
makes sense.
crossplay.
Yep.
That doesn't make sense.
So the crossplay will only be squad based like it is now. So like say for example you're playing on PS4 and I'm playing on PC, we can join the same squad using our Epic IDs.
Yeah.
But I won't be matched with PC players unless I'm in a PC squad.
That's
I'm assuming the same will be for mobile because that's the way they talked about it. They said squads is like you join up with your squads and play. So,
yeah.
But I'm going to enter the beta on Monday, so I think it's going to start up pretty soon.
Cool.
So I'll report back.
Actually, phone would be the perfect place. Like the co-op Fortnite stuff is really cool. And the biggest difficulty with it is that there's tons of junk to manage outside of the gameplay, like all the menu-based stuff that's kind of ripped from mobile games in the first place. If you could manage that through the game on phones and then actually play it on PC and PS4, that could be really cool. Like I would love it.
Second screen experiences.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, like if I could just like play the game and then go, oh, I'm done for the night, and then on my bus ride to work, manage all my upgrades and do all the junk, the like management stuff. That could be cool.
No, wait. So are you talking about like the Fortnite Protect the Night or whatever?
Yeah. I'm talking about what Fortnite was.
Okay. That makes more sense. I thought because
no,
the battle about Fortnite now, I just associate with Battle Royale. So I was like, what are you talking about?
No, I mean the co-op,
yeah.
Own the night. But yeah, if you could manage that stuff on a phone, that could get me to play that game more. Because it was a pain sitting around for like a half an hour in between maps, like managing my research points and upgrades and stuff. But doing that on a phone could be cool. I'm
super interested, I have to say. But let's not go too deep in because I think that when the game actually comes out, I will endeavor to give it like a few matches pre one of our recordings because I'm usually pretty lucky when it comes to getting to betas, so we'll see. But yeah, I think it's time to close out our episode because we've been running for 2 hours. Super long anniversary episode. I hope everyone enjoyed. Just a reminder that we have a 3-way tie for the quiz championship of the year between Alison, Andre, and Erica. And that will continue next week. If you guys want to think up cool team names or anything, I don't know, you do what you like.
Cool team names?
Yeah.
My team name is Dr. Pepper Root Beer.
Okay.
Favorite soda, least favorite soda.
Yeah, my team name's probably Coke Zero something. I don't know. I have to think about it. But yeah. So yeah, let's talk about where you can find us all on the internet, because obviously I'm flagging because it's midnight. So Pat, why don't you go first as your triumphant return?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at JesterPC.
Awesome. Erica?
You can find me on Twitch at Zupadupa, XUPAHDUPAH. We're streaming a lot of stuff now because we're finally done with Yakuza 0. But tonight we're playing Yakuza Kiwami. So what do you But no, we've been playing some other stuff too. Like, we've been playing Celeste and I don't know, a couple other games. We've been running through different roguelikes. We're going to do a new one every week. So we'll see how that goes. And you can also listen to my other podcast, Tempered Expectations, on iTunes and SoundCloud about video games and wrestling.
Andre?
You can find me on Twitter at Coolslaw, COOLSL4W. Twitch at Coleslaw, COLESL4W. And Instagram, Cray_Dre. And see stuff about me living in Japan, I guess. I'll stream more on Twitch soon, I promise.
I'd like to point out that Andre has the best Twitch usernames of all of us. A little bit. So, Alison.
You can find me at Twitter at WRITERSERENYTY or at stamps.com.
And Alex, where can people find you? Bearing in mind that they may not be watching this on your feed this week, as I think multiple people are hosting it elsewhere.
If you Google real dolls, you'll probably find something about me somewhere.
Yeah.
Take that how you
will.
will.
The last episode of the podcast, guys. Thanks very much.
This episode brought to you by Real Dolls.
Yeah. This episode brought to you by Real Doll.
I want to say real quick.
Alison was our rep for that, so thanks,
Oh,
Alison.
God,
for getting in touch.
Oh, don't put that on her.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out also that we're gonna do that. Sorry for if that music just came up. I accidentally opened up Cat Condo trying to find my calendar. We're gonna do a review episode at the end of this month on Wrestle Kingdom 12. So
so it's the 31st.
The 31st.
If anyone wants to watch along in advance.
Yeah.
We're really not going to do WrestleMania. It's so close.
When is WrestleMania?
Yeah, it's not going to be as good, I promise.
But it'll be so much more exciting. It'll be bad, but it'll be exciting.
All right, that's fair. It'll probably
in a way Japanese WWE is exciting in a way Japanese wrestling is not.
I highly disagree with you.
The spectacle is a different style.
It's a different type of spectacle, but I think that Japanese wrestling is better in every way. But anyway, so we're gonna do that on the 31st, and I know we're gonna maybe try to watch it together if you guys are interested the week before on the 24th. So if anybody's listening to this and also wants to watch it with us, and you know one of us, you could probably do that too.
If you don't know one of us and you're watching this podcast, hello.
Hello.
Please rate and review us on iTunes.
We don't have the couch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay.
But yeah, so you can find me online as well at SGCH, which is Sierra Golf Charlie Hotel. You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, and Twitch. I'm going to try and start streaming a little bit more. I streamed today for 2 whole hours, which is pretty impressive for me, I think. And I'll try and play some more Bloodborne. And I'll talk about that on Twitch whenever I do it. Please, if you are a Twitch viewer or Facebook viewer or whatever, if you subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and give us a little rate, that's hugely important in terms of how many people see our podcast when searching for stuff.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, and everyone subscribe to my Twitch channel.
Tell your grandma.
I don't actually know what that does.
Grandmas love us.
Subscribe to your channel, but it gives you a cool crown when you talk during the podcast. So that you can interact with the group as a whole. So yeah, thanks everyone for listening and for tuning in, and thanks everyone for turning up and recording, Pat. And
Back from the
dead. We will see everybody next week.
I gotta go
Bye.
beat ass in Dragon Ball. Good luck, everyone out there.
It's because the B didn't come through. It just sounded like you said, "I'm gonna go eat ass in
Yeah.
Dragon
Oh,
Ball."
no, that's what I said. That's what I said. I gotta go.
Oh, okay.
I just gotta go use my Yajirobe ass-eating powers.
I had a very long conversation about how John Jerobi was shit at the pub quiz this week.
Okay. Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, bye guys. Speak to you next week.